In a medical malpractice case here in New York, how does the jury know whether or not your doctor treated you appropriately? How do they know what the rules of the road are for doctors and hospital staff? You want to know the answer? Come join me for a moment as I share with you some great information. Hi, I'm Gerry Oginski. I'm a New York medical malpractice and personal injury attorney, and let me share with you the answer to the question. You know, we all drive cars. We all know what the rules of the road are. Red light is stop, green light go. There's a double yellow line, you can't cross over it. We know that. We see it every single day. But now that we are claiming that a doctor violated the basic standards of medical care, we don't always have that roadmap, that guideline, the rules of the road for doctors. They don't publish that in a manual that says, hey, by the way, if you have a problem, here's the roadmap that the doctor should have used. They should have done the following things. No, that's not exactly how it works. In order for the jury to understand what the standards of care were, I have to put on medical experts on the witness stand to explain to the jury and teach the jury what the standards of care were in this exact scenario, in this specific situation. And then they have to explain to the jury why this doctor, your doctor, deviated and departed from those good medical practices. And as a result of those violations from the basic standards of medical care, now you suffered significant and permanent injury. And the doctors have to explain to the jury why. It's not enough for me to simply say, hey, listen, your doctor did something improperly causing you harm. No, now we have Dr. Jones, who now is well credentialed, he's board certified, he comes from a very well-known medical school and a very well-known hospital, and now he's got to teach the jury. Same thing with our next expert. So you might be thinking, wait a second, when we're done with all of our witnesses, the defense must do the same exact thing. They must put on their experts to go ahead and teach the jury that, hey, look, this doctor didn't violate any standard of care. And you know what? That's exactly what happens in a medical malpractice trial. We put on our experts to show that we are more likely right than wrong, that what we are claiming is true, that the doctor did in fact violate the basic standards of medical care, causing you significant injury. The defense, on the other hand, puts on their experts, also most of the time well qualified, to then go ahead and say just the opposite. So now we have clear disputes. And then the jury will have to decide who they believe. If they believe our experts, now they're much more inclined to give us a verdict in our favor. If they believe the defense's experts, now they're going to be more inclined to give the defense a verdict in their favor. So why do I share this information with you? I share it with you just to give you an insight and an understanding into what goes on in these medical malpractice lawsuits here in the state of New York. You know, I recognize, I understand you're watching this video because you have questions or concerns about your own particular matter. Well, if your matter did happen here in New York and you're thinking about bringing a lawsuit, but you haven't done so yet because you have questions that need to be answered, what I invite you to do is pick up the phone and call me. I can answer your questions. You know, this is something I do every single day, and I'd love to talk to you. You can reach me at 516-487-8207 or by email at Gerry, Gerry, at oginski-law.com. That's it for today's video. I'm Gerry Oginski. Have a wonderful day.